Colony 6 update today, and this is a colony you won't have seen much about. So we're going to give them a new nest, have a little bit more of a closer look at them and see how they're going. So let's get into the video. So I've done a video on this Colony 6 before, Queen Sisa, the Calamermex albertsi colony, and you may remember from that video they used to be in this 3D printed nest, so from Ant Shack. So check those out. I'll put the link at the top of the description here if you want to watch that video, but also I'll put a link in the description below where you can go onto the Ant Shack website and you can get a discount on those 3D printed nests if you are looking at getting one. So have a look down below for that one. Now I took them out of the 3D nest because of a fungal problem, so I had to get them out of there, clean it out, so I transferred them into one of these. Now this setup I've put them into was the test tube setup. If I'd left them there with that fungus, it would have killed that colony, so I had to get them out of there quickly. But I'll repurpose that 3D printed nest later with another colony. So this is the setup I've currently got them in. I've got the outworld, and attached to that is this test tube here. Very basic sort of setup here. Nice little outworld. Get that from Empire of Ants. I've done a review on that one as well. So looking down on the outworld here, as you can see, the nice little outworld has got that ventilation on the top there. The lid you can take off, the whole lid there if you need to. Nice little bit of decoration inside here. So as I said, go and check out that video. I'll put a link at the top here, the cards as well. And you can see here these ants can actually climb up these slippery surfaces. So just something to be aware of if you are keeping the Calamermex albertsi species of ants. They do love to climb, so keep that lid on. I haven't bothered with any fluon around the top here. I'm just very careful when the colony's not very big. You can put fluon around the top here if you wish, just to make sure that you can actually take that lid off and not be too stressed about them escaping as well. As you can see here, they love climbing up to the top here and exploring. So there's a little bit of the overview there of the outworld. Now, test tube. So I've got them here in the test tube with a bit of silicon piping that's going into the nest here, vinyl tubing. The colony's doing quite well. It's expanded now. In the last video they had 4 workers. They've now got 8 workers running around in the nest here. But this test tube is getting a bit too small and I actually want to view them better. So I've decided to put them into one of these acrylic nests from Oz Ants. Now the acrylic nest that I've chosen to put them on is this actual old style here. This is the old style with the hydration on the edge and a gate closure. On the left here, this is the new style acrylic nest from Oz Ants. You can see it's one big chamber, but I wanted to keep these guys fairly cramped up. They always like to be cramped up, so that's why I'm going for the old version. Okay, so let's have a closer look at this colony now. I've got some macro footage coming up and also the transition into that new nest, so stay tuned for that. So here you can see in the test tube here, the actual tubing is going down quite a bit into this. It's grubby, it's hard to see them. So we'll have a look at the macro footage now and see how good we can see these ants. These are a beautiful ant. They've got these tiny little hairs all over them, quite a hairy ant. And their little abdomens there pulse all the time, especially when they're excited, whether that be over food or if there's a bit of danger around. Whenever I go near them, their little abdomens start pulsing. The queen does as well. So here's the queen, Queen Sisa. Sisa's Latin for pulse, so that's why I've called her that as well. So we can see they've got a few cocoons here ready to go, ready to hatch, which is really good. I'm excited about that. It's warmer now and they're producing and developing a lot faster with their brood. The workers are very active, constantly in the outworld there, quick to grab that food and always searching. So I think if I just keep up that food with these guys, they'll expand. These ants seem to be very light sensitive. They like to keep into the dark spots. They like a cramped environment as well. I always found them, they like to be in the tubing rather than in a nest and that. So I've had a fair bit of experimenting with these guys, but as you'll see, we'll transfer them into that nest and we'll see how they go in there. So here you can see them exploring their outworld. They love this little outworld. It's good because I can keep an eye on them, and they like climbing as well, climbing all over those little trees that are there provided. Okay, so this is the plan. This is the acrylic nest I'm going to try and transfer them into from out of that test tube. So fingers crossed this goes well. Yeah, let's go and see what happens. So to begin with, I just wanted to loosen off the tubing here into the outworld just so it's ready to go. But I remembered, probably a good idea to get something. Yep, some cotton wool. So when I pull that out, I can put some in the outworld and some in the test tube there. Make sure I don't lose any of these ants. There's only 8 workers. I don't want to lose a single one in this transaction. So something to remember there, just remember that blocking off. Cotton wool is perfect for that as well. So here we go. So I'm just going to stuff some in there, pull it apart so it's ready there. Only just managed to capture or stop that one escaping there. So that was a close call, but we got there. So just stuff it in the end there, just blocks off that test tube. None are going to escape there. And then on the other side there on the outworld. Pays to be a little bit more prepared than I was. But anyway, I'm glad I got the footage so you guys can see, hey, we're all human. We're just trying to do our best here with this. So I hope there's some benefit in that for you guys if you are planning on doing a little exchange like this. So we've got a couple of workers there in the outworld. That's okay. We'll transfer those guys a little later on. So what I'm going to do now is transfer this into the acrylic. So we're going to have a little go at this. I'll get the gate ready, put that in the top. This is the older style. There's a slot there so they can escape. So I want to make sure that that is covered properly. Okay, so some of these principles you'll see here you can use with any sort of transfer. So what I've basically done is just butted up the test tube there right against the acrylic gate there so they can transfer over and explore. Just steadying the test tube there as well so nothing gets shaken. You can see there my worker's already gone into that acrylic nest and is having a good look around and sussing it out. So the new nest you want to keep nice and dark. Okay, these guys are light sensitive especially, but all ants. So keep the new nest or the new area that you want to transfer them into nice and dark. That'll encourage them to move over. Now you can add some light as well, some extra light to try and get them to move faster, but just be careful you don't cook your ants there with too much heat. So here we go. Colony transferred over into the acrylic nest here. So took a little bit of time to get this happening though. So be patient whenever you are doing this. Allow them that time to transfer over. It's going to be a lot less traumatic for the colony there if you can just be patient with it. Give them that time to transfer over. So another thing I need to do though is just the test tube here. You can see the old test tube. There are actually a couple of eggs that were left over in there that they didn't take over with them. So what I want to do is just transfer those into the nest. I don't want any loss here. And I also need to transfer these couple of workers from the outworld. So let's see how we go. Now you need to be extremely delicate when you're dealing with eggs here. Any little damage to them and that's it, they'll die. So I use a skewer here. I dip it in water so it's nice and soft, but also the water helps the egg stick to it. So I've just put it in there, just got one little egg there. Don't know if you can see that in the video. It's so tiny there on the end of the skewer. And all I'm going to do here is just lift the gate up a tiny bit because I don't want any of the workers to escape. And I'm just going to just put it on the tip on the inside there. So might be a little bit hard to see here in the video, but we'll see how we go and see if I can get it captured for you nicely. So let's have a shot at this. All right, let's have a go. So just lifting up the gate and let's try that again, a little bit stiff. Here we go. Lifting it and putting it in there and excellent, I think. Here we go. Beautiful. Okay. So actually, I don't know if you saw that, but the workshop actually took that off the end of the stick. Recognized it was one of theirs and has taken it. So that's fantastic. So we've got a few more here that I need to transfer over. So I'll get another one and give it a shot here. See if I can do the same. If they take them, that's even better than me trying to place them down. I don't want to squash them as I do that either. And here we go. Excellent. Another safe transaction. Beautiful. Okay. So that seems to be working quite well. So there's about 3 or 4 that I need to transfer over into the nest here. So beautiful. That's a little tip there for you, just how to transfer over. So they're all transferred over into their nest now. They're all looking good, looking healthy. Let's have a little bit of a closer look at them. Here we go, we've got the queen, the brood there all piled up. Got those workers running around in there as well, exploring that nest. Let's have a closer look. See, we can see them much better now. There you go, one of the workers still got that egg in their mouth there, moving it around. Probably give it a little bit of attention as it was left behind. So I prefer my ant colonies in nests like this, so I can actually view the inner workings. A lot of you guys I know love them in a natural sort of setup. I'll probably try one of those one day, but I really like to see what happens inside the nest, and I hope you guys do too, and appreciate this footage here, seeing actually how they the workings, how they tend to the brood, how they interact with each other, and also seeing that queen. With the natural setup, once the queen's inside the nest, she's never coming out again, so you don't get to see her. But this way, I can get to have a good look at her, and that's what I want to do. That's why I enjoy the hobby of ant keeping, because I can see what's happening. So here we go, the queen. Queen looks quite healthy. Cleaning, preparing. Little abdomen pulses there a little bit. Okay, so the next bit here, I want to set up a new piece of tubing to go into the acrylic nest and into the outworld. So the piece I originally had there was just not quite the right size from the test tube. So here we go, just pull that cotton wool out, insert the tubing in there, and then again block up that end again while I get ready for the other setup. These ants move so fast. You've got to be quick, guys, with these ones, and plenty of other species. Some are very docile and you've got plenty of time to work with them, but these Calomyrmex alberti, very fast workers. Okay, time to connect up this nest. So we've got the cotton wool there. I'm just going to pull that out quickly and just insert the tubing here into the acrylic nest. As mentioned, it's got that gate there on the top, so I'm just going to remove that quickly so we can slide it all in, get it all connected like so. So there you go, there's the little setup. Now I'm just going to put this gate back in the top there. That just seals that little slot at the top as well, like so. Nice and secure. So there you go, it's a pretty basic little setup, nice and tiny. What do you guys think of that? So there's the final setup. Love to hear what you guys think of this. Any difficulties you have had in transferring, please comment down below, really appreciate it, and I'll reply to those as quickly as I can as well. I appreciate your support, guys, as well. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done so, I encourage you to now. That just keeps me more motivated to get these videos out for you. I've had a lot of trouble with my internet recently, and that's why they've been slow coming, but hopefully that'll be fixed shortly, and I'll be able to get more and more of these videos up on a more regular basis for you. So like the video if you did, subscribe to the channel, and happy ant keeping.